welcome again to Tech Savvy. We're so excited about you being here today and learning more things about what's going on at West Georgia Technical College on the LaGrange campus. We've had staff members and people that came in and talked about the financial aid and the instruction and the application process, but today we're going to have students to join us and tell us what they feel like is very important in their college career and how they like life on West Georgia Tech, at West Georgia Tech. So our first guest this morning is Callie Veal, and she and I have known each other for a while, so it's going to be fun just to chat with her. We always have a good time chatting. But Callie, I want you to tell our viewers today about what your program is, how you got here, what you've been doing, and we'll go into the more details later, but just give us a little rundown of how you got here.
Okay. Well, when I graduated...
Where'd you go to high school?
True. When I graduated high school in 2010, I applied to West Georgia Technical College, and I wanted to do all my core classes so I could later transfer to a four-year college to get my Bachelor in Nursing.
Nursing is what you're interested in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Have you always been interested in nursing?
I was, for the most part. Before I came to West Georgia Tech, I thought I wanted to do dental hygiene. But as I started doing the anatomy, I really got into it, so I liked nursing better.
The nursing told you something, huh?
Right.
Well, good. So go on. You graduated from high school, you came to West Georgia Tech, you stayed how long?
I stayed for 2 years.
Okay.
I did, like I said, I did all my core classes, and then I transferred. And
where'd you transfer?
To LaGrange College.
Mm-hmm.
And I loved it. I loved the dorm life. I loved living on campus. I loved the campus activities. But when it came time to apply to the nursing program, I am a horrible test taker, and I have test anxiety, and I didn't score high enough on the entrance exam, and you can only take it 2 times a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I was devastated.
I'm sure.
And, because all my friends got into the nursing program, so I had to think of a plan B.
Uh-huh.
Luckily, one of the practical nursing instructors at West Georgia Tech went to my church, and my mom was like, you need to call her and talk to her to think of another plan. And so I was like, okay. So I talked to her, and she told me about the practical nursing program to become an LPN. And I said, okay, I have a year. What am I going to do? I have no more classes to take. So I went there, I took the entrance exam, I scored high enough, but I was lacking a class. So she said, that's fine, because now in 2014, they require you to have your CNA before entering a nursing program. So perfect. She said, this way, it's basic nursing. You can figure out if you really like it or not. So that's where I'm at right now. I take my state board September 6th, and then hopefully I will be certified.
It'd be October 6th, wouldn't it?
Well, they start October 31st.
Okay.
But I'm taking mine the next week of that, September 6th.
Okay. Well, we are excited that you're one of our students. And I want to know specifics, like what are you taking, what kind of programs are you, what classes are you taking?
Okay. We take a nurse aid class, which is we learn all our skills, because for state boards you have to perform 5 skills in 25 minutes. So we go to the lab, we practice them, bed baths and feeding and just your basic nursing routines, cleaning. And then I'm taking nutrition, which is the one I was missing for the practical nursing program. Mm-hmm. And that's, learning, proper diet, all that stuff. And then I'm taking medical term.
I've heard that's pretty tough.
It is, but I have a great teacher.
Who's your teacher?
Miss Gilbert.
Okay.
Miss Gilbert. She's the one. My mom told me, since I was in high school, Callie, you have to figure out what fits you. But I guess it didn't click until Miss Gilbert said it, because she was like, for y'all to succeed in the nursing program or in any career choice that you do, you have to decide what is best for you to succeed. and whether you're a visual learner, figure out what kind of learner you are and what is the best route for you to take to get where you need to be. And I was like, okay, so she works really good with us with the medical term because it can be tough, but I enjoy it. I like it.
And you're doing good in it too.
Yes, I am. Yes,
you're doing well in it.
Yes,
That's the proper thing. Well, hands-on I think it sounds like to me you're one of those that likes to do hands-on. You learn better and faster that way. So tell me an example of a skill or part of your program that you have to do in order to.
Well, with my program in general, I have to learn, nursing is pretty much a skill in itself.
Right.
So everything that you learn, you take a written test for state, but it's about how you do it and perform your skills and technique. Right. And so, we...
Do you bathe? You
we
have to
bathe.
practice.
We do bed baths and full baths. Feeding someone that's blind, learning how to, how do you do that? You have to describe their food clockwise. Dealing with mental illness. You have people that you deal with. Right now I start clinical. We went yesterday to do clinicals, and knowing how to communicate with the mentally ill. You don't want to correct them, but you kind of want to go along with it, but focus their direction on something else that's present, where if they go,
that is a lot. That's intense.
It is. And how to communicate or come towards someone that is...
Connect. You need to connect
with them to be able to do the skills that you have to do every day.
Right.
So
and it's a good learning experience because everybody connects differently. Like your learning process, you do better on hands-on as opposed to the reading and the lectures and things like that. Well, that's a good thing about technical education. It is it's hands-on training. And I love walking down the halls, and I like to see the classes that was going on. I see nurses, I see drawing blood, I see x-ray technicians, I see the mechanical and the electrical department. They do robots. And I just think, had I had that opportunity when I was growing up and going to college, I would have learned a whole lot more and done better.
Exactly.
Because you see it happening, and you see there's good end results to it. Tell me about the classes that you're talking about. Like you said, you've taken all these. Who's in your class? Who are your students? Who do your...
This is one thing that I think is great, because West Georgia Tech can not just the younger generation. I have people that are older, from their 40s to people who are 18, even people in high school, because we can do the
dual enrollment,
which is awesome.
I know.
And
think about it. Had you gone through this process in high school, you would have already been out of the way.
If they had dual enrollment, how awesome. You can get, even if you say West Georgia Tech, you didn't want to go there, but you could go there to get, it takes 2 years pretty much to get all your core classes. So those 2 years in high school, you can have those core classes done, and you go straight into your program, wherever, and that is awesome.
I think it's something that we need to really push more in the high schools.
Oh, yeah.
But we have I think we have 2 classes of CNAs from the high schools, and it's all high schools are all blended into one.
Right, all 3.
And they are learning so much. And then I think we had somebody that was a graduate from a dual enrollment class last year, and she automatically went in, after she graduated from high school, she was in the LPN program.
Right, LPN or I guess RN. How awesome is that? You can go and you're there as soon as you graduate, which is great for people who know what they want to do.
Well, that was my point, is, you might think you want to be a nurse, like you wanted to be a dental assistant, but then once you got into the nursing and started practicing, you thought, this is more like something I want to do.
Right, and I was just talking to someone the other day who their daughter, she was telling me, it's like, we don't know what they want to do. She has no idea what she wants to do. What do we do? And the first thing I said was West Georgia Tech. Even if you have no idea what major you want to go into, core classes are core classes. You have to have your math, and you have to have your science and your English before you can do any type of program. And then even if you still don't know, you can take a couple more classes and get a associate's degree. And that's better than nothing. I mean, there's
Right.
just so many different options to take.
Well, one thing about your situation is you have to work in order to, because you've
Right.
exhausted some of your financial aid, so you're having to work. I think that is commendable in itself because, I mean, you're there, you've got skin in the game, and you know it's important to be successful because it's money, hard-earned money.
Yeah.
So, but you weren't able to take advantage of all the financial things, financial aid programs up until this point, or are you still on some financial aid? You're pretty much paying it.
I'm pretty much paying for it myself right now, but it's nothing compared
to the.
I mean, when I transferred to LaGrange College, I had zero amount of debt, none whatsoever. It was awesome. So, you know, that's great too, and it's affordable. You're able to afford. I mean, it's for the stuff that for the amount of education you're getting for this little price, it's great.
Well, I think I heard a story about a nurse in a local hospital. She graduated from West Georgia Tech, and then there were other nurses that graduated from a four-year college. And they're doing the same exact job, they're doing everything, but the difference is, she says, I don't owe any money.
Right.
So.
And with nursing, it doesn't matter where you get your diploma because it's all about how long you've been there for your pay to increase. So you start out with the same amount, you do the same task, and like you said, the only difference is one of those has debts and the other one doesn't.
Well, we've run out of time. Hadn't this been fun?
Yes,
You've done so good, and
Thank you.
you're one of our poster children for West Georgia Tech. I'm proud of what you've done and accomplished, and I can't wait to see you on campus. And I hope you'll come back and keep us up on your progress.
Of course.
And thank you so much for joining us.
You're welcome.
We'll be back in a few minutes. Welcome back to Tech Savvy. We're fortunate enough today to have another student to talk to us about his experiences at West Georgia Tech and how he ended up being at West Georgia Tech. His name is Daniel Crockett, and his mother was on a previous episode. She is the coordinator for student success at the whole college. And so after talking to her about him in the episode, I thought, okay, let's show a success story. Let's talk about what really happens. And so thank you so much for coming today, Daniel.
Thank you for having me.
I want you to give us a little rundown on how you got to this point today. Where'd you go to high school? What did you want to do when you were in high school? Then why you ended up at West Georgia Tech? Besides the fact your mama focused you on that direction. But tell me a little bit of history.
Well, I graduated from LaGrange High, and I knew I wanted to go to Georgia Southern because that's where my friends were going, and I visited there and I absolutely love it. It's a small, it's a college town, and you get the real college experience. But then my mom started talking to me about financial issues and stuff like that, and how much easier it would be to go to West Georgia Tech, and that basically I'd go pretty much free, and they'd end up giving me a lot of financial aid and all that. And so eventually we made the decision, we sat down and we talked about it, and she got my classes done and set me up, and I was ready to go. And I thought it was a good idea because, I mean, I got to stay, work, have a job, save money, and instead of going to Georgia Southern and living off Hot Pockets and McDonald's and stuff like that.
You get to live off your mama's cooking.
Yeah, I still get a home-cooked meal like once a month, like once a week. But so we made that decision, and then I enrolled and I started classes, and I mean it's really.
Didn't you go to summer school?
Oh yeah, I started took 2 classes this summer.
What'd you take?
I took a U.S. history and my freshman math, which is college algebra.
Mm-hmm.
And those were great. I had Mr. Studdard, and he was a young guy, real good teacher. And then Mr. Palmer, which I still have him now for a different history class. He's a genius.
Really?
And just enjoy talking to him. And so I got done. I made A in one of those classes and a B in the other.
Awesome.
And I mean, those are fully going to transfer to Georgia Southern. That way, when I get to Georgia Southern, that's a whole lot of core classes out of the way.
Out of the way, and a whole lot less expensive too.
Right, right.
But it was a whole lot easier than you thought it was going to be, right?
The classes were challenging. I mean, a lot of people think because it's a technical school that it's going to be easy and stuff, but they challenge you. And but most of them, one of them was, both of those were hybrid classes.
So you had a high
work on the
school. I mean, you
computer.
had lectures, and then you had computers,
Right.
and had homework to do. And
Right.
Your
Which
mama made
gotta
sure you
stay on
got
top
it
of
done
that.
right.
Yeah, she was calling me every day. When you get off, get home, start on your homework. And but I ended up spending a lot of time on the computer, which is good because it takes a while to get to class, you know, gas and all that, and you got to fit that in your schedule. Whereas all you got to do is open your laptop with a hybrid class.
Yes, yes.
So, but anyways, and then this semester I enrolled in 4 classes.
That's a
and,
heavy load, isn't it?
Yeah, it's pretty busy. I mean, with work and everything.
All right. Well, so what classes are you taking this semester?
Right now I have World History 2, English 1101. What are my other 2? I have American Government and online speech class, public speaking.
Public speaking. Okay.
And that one's completely online. The others are still hybrids. So, I only
Well,
got
so
go
do you
once
have
a
to
week.
videotape yourself giving a speech?
I did my first speech yesterday actually, and it was like a classroom, and everyone's on there, and I couldn't see myself, which was really weird, but apparently they could see me. And I gave the speech, and then she just said thank you, and then that was it.
What was your
just
speech
simple.
about?
I did it about a life lesson learned, and it was about 2 years ago, I got arrested on a minor under the influence charge, and it was a real lesson for me, and I learned a lot from it, and broke my dad's wallet, my mom's heart, and so that was a really
But you
good
learned,
life
it was a
lesson.
life lesson learned.
And I wrote a lot of papers on it.
I bet
It's
you
come in
have.
handy.
Because you hopefully can keep somebody else from making that same
Oh,
mistake.
definitely.
And it was a maturing event to you too, wasn't it?
Right,
Well, I'm very proud of you for recognizing that and being able to share that experience so that somebody else will learn from it. So you have the speech. I never took a speech class, and I probably should have. But you know, I think it would be a fun class.
It's completely different now that it's on a computer.
Uh-huh.
It's still like, you still get the nervousness of being in front of people, but no one's in the room with you.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
it's
So where did you
experience.
give your speech at home?
I actually went and sat in my mom's office because
Okay.
it was the best like environment to do it in.
Right down there across from the library.
Her other office, the 407.
Oh, okay. Because she's so busy, she has offices
I know,
everywhere.
I can never find her when I go.
I know. When I saw you the other night, you were looking for her. Was she there then?
Who knows? I couldn't find her.
She's great. Okay, so we got you here. We got you out of high school. You didn't take any dual enrollment classes, but would you have liked to?
We actually talked about it, and I just kept putting it off until it was too late. And if I could go back, yes, I'd like to do that.
Because you could have taken your math class, you could have taken a history class, you could have taken anything like that, and you wouldn't even be taking those now. You
Yeah,
would be
I could
doing
have got
something.
high school credit and the college credit for it. And I mean, that would put me, I'm already ahead because of that summer semester,
Right.
credits-wise. But that would have put me way ahead of
So
the
if
game.
you had a chance now to tell people your friends still in high school, what would you tell them?
I'd definitely tell them to do the dual enrollment. I mean, if you can handle it, if it's something that you can do financially and physically, and I'd definitely do that.
So if they were to take one of those classes and they're $85 credit hour, I mean, Hope pays some of it, and I mean, it really ends up being extremely valuable and not too expensive.
Oh, it's definitely not wasting your money.
Well, good. Well, I appreciate you giving that little plug to those high school students that are still trying to decide what to do and all. And so we do the English, reading, math, or whatever, all those classes that do transfer, and you can get those done in high school, and then when you're ready to go to a 4-year college, then it'll automatically, you don't have to take those.
Right.
And so you're already halfway down there to your goal of graduation.
Right.
All right, so tell me, you work full-time too, don't you? What do you do?
I work for my brother-in-law's business, P&J Janitorial, and he hired me on as part-time, but I still end up working 40, 50 hours a week. And we do a lot of work at the Delevant downtown and any commercial businesses, sometimes residential stuff, a lot of big Korean plants, stuff like that.
So Kia and all that, or just suppliers?
They used to have Kia as a contract, but right now, I think they just called them back because they had hired another company, but now they want us back.
Well, good. And so, I mean, they're flexible with your hours so that they will work around
Of course,
your time.
it doesn't matter if I tell them right as soon as it happens. If it's school related, they're going to let me go.
So they let you off this morning
Right.
because you had to make your big break into the...
Well, they didn't let me off. I had to be in at 7 and got off at 9.
Oh, okay. All right, well, now they can see you on TV. All right, so we got you here. you're in classes now. Have you already registered for next semester?
Not yet, but my mom has talked to me about it. She's like, we need to sit down and figure out your classes. But at West Georgia Tech, they have it where you're pretty much mapped out for the next year. Like, they know exactly what you need to take and to get to what your program is, which I did, I think it's technical specialist.
Technical specialist.
And that's like takes the place of your major, I think. That's just to make sure that everything transfers.
Right.
Which that's the best thing to do if you're planning on
when you don't know
transferring.
what you're going to do specifically. But you just told me a few minutes ago that you know what you want to do when you grow up.
Right. I think I want to do biomedical engineering and get to work in a hospital, but not have to deal with blood and patients as much.
Well, so you want to be able to work on the equipment and develop the equipment, maintain the equipment,
right?
The medical equipment.
And I mean, that's a lot of math, and I enjoy doing math and stuff like that. And really, it's a lot of money. I want to make a lot of money.
Everybody wants to make a lot of money, and it's a good goal to have. But if you can take some classes from West Georgia Tech that will help you in your next step. So, like, you could take some of the industrial maintenance classes or the drafting classes, things like that will help you in get you a little bit further along for your next step, right?
They have great teachers for it, and their facility's nice. Their engineering facility.
Well, that's very nice of you to say. I think so too. It's high tech.
Right.
It's high tech. When you were in high school, what was the consensus of technical education? I know what it was when I was in high school, but I would like to know if it's changed any.
I mean, more people are opening up to the idea of it, and I mean, it's just they need to be educated on it. A lot of people are ignorant about technical schools and what they can really do for you, because no one knows that they can really transfer how much cheaper it is, how much money you're going to save.
How convenient. How
convenient. I mean, especially this location, being here at home. Like I said, living at home. I don't have any bills yet, and I definitely don't want to go my life without the college experience, like moving off. But I mean, this is saving me thousands of dollars this one year, thousands of dollars in student loans that I'm going to owe later in life.
And that's a eye-opening experience in itself. But it also gives you a couple of years to mature and be better prepared for the real life.
Exactly.
And so you've got your mama there to help you through the next couple of years. So you do plan on staying for another year?
This next semester.
Semester?
Every year I come home for summer, I plan on taking at least 2 classes.
Well, that'll help you speed on up. So next fall semester you plan on going to Southern then?
Right.
Well, that's good. That sounds like fun. Well, we're about to run out of time, but I do want to make sure that you have an opportunity to tell your friends and tell people that are watching your general overall experience and thoughts about West Georgia Tech, and if you recommend us, you know, what your thoughts are. What do you think?
What would you like
to say?
Recommend it. Any of my teachers, they're smart people, like people you just want to have a conversation with. I guess just compared to high school teachers, like they're gifted, I guess, and it's like having a conversation with another person like you. Their lectures are good. The classroom atmosphere is good. The building's nice too.
It's great. Sometimes it gets a little hot, but we're getting that work done.
Yeah, one classroom we had to get out of there and move to another one because it was so hot one time, but they're cool.
We're getting a new air-conditioned heating unit as we speak, so I'm excited about that.
That's going to be nice.
Well, Daniel, you've been so much fun to have on this. Will you please come back?
Yes, ma'am.
Will you come back and tell us show us your progress and all, and give us your ideas on things that maybe need to be improved, or we know we're always wanting to hear some constructive criticism, so we're always interested in that. But we're done. It's a short time when you start talking about all this stuff you know about, right?
Right.
But thank you so much for joining us, and again, thank you for having such a wonderful mother. She's awesome.
She's great.
She's great, and we're so lucky to have her. Thank you again for joining us on Tech Savvy, and we look forward to seeing you on our next episode. And please remember to visit us on our website at www.westgatech.edu. And thank you again for joining us.